Welcome to Scorched Earth and the general reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the last 2 weeks of September. I hope you are well. As you may be able to tell, I am not quite functioning at 100% at the moment. I've been really quite poorly this week, but I am on the mend. Immune systems for the win. So we're going to give this a go and see if I can make it through the entire reading without coughing on you. So, if you have not seen these readings before, I keep them shorter than the main monthly reading, and they are structured differently in so much as we are looking for the lesson. I believe that every experience and interaction that we have contains some wisdom or a lesson within it for us, if we are able to see it. And it's kind of an exercise in perspective, right? So what I'm going to do is pull 3 cards for your current energy and see where you are right now, what's going on with you, right? It's like a kind of energetic snapshot. And from there, we will pull 3 cards and see why you are in this energy in the first place. Like, what is it that is trying to be shown to you here? Sometimes it's trying to teach you something about yourself. Sometimes it's trying to teach you a new skill, like, I don't know, patience, something like that. Or sometimes it's trying to clear the way for new things to come in. We won't know until the cards hit the table. And we'll close out with 3 cards of advice. So I hope that makes sense. What else do I have to tell you? I've not done the price of the 6-month overviews. So if you are interested in checking that out and you haven't done yet, now would be a good time to go and do that. We're a third of the way through that. No, we're not. Here we are. We're a third of the way through that period, so I've knocked them down by a third accordingly. And really at this point, I just want people to hear the message. So obviously, if you are supporting me on Patreon, you get access to all that stuff for free at the higher tier anyway. So let's get some cards for you, Leo, and see what's going on. I have 3 cards for Leo, please. Okay, we have the Empress, we have the 3 of Wands, and we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, we've got the Ace of Pentacles at the deck, at the bottom of the deck here. That seed, that potential for something new. And, you know, Ace of Pentacles can be a new job. It can be a new house if you are looking for a new house. You know, that sort of thing. But it is often a way in which you are afforded an opportunity to improve your material circumstances in some way or another, right? Now, because I see the Pentacles as energetic currency, sometimes it can be about taking that energy and the effort that you've been putting into something and redirecting it into something new, something that, you know, ultimately will lead to abundance. And abundance seems to be the order of the day because we do have this Empress here. Now, the abundance is intended. I can see that very clearly. Whether or not it's quite hit you yet, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, Leo. Because all of this feels like it's kind of sitting on the edge of something about to drop, right? We've got this 3 of Wands and we've got this Page of Pentacles here. You can see that. Now, the Page of Pentacles specifically is about the first step on a journey towards something. You know, he has a key in his hand and he's about to dig something up. Sort of pentacle energy here for you. But whatever it is he's looking for, he has not yet found it. He has just begun the process of going to look for it. And it's this almost at a tipping point, Leo. That's how it feels. The 3 of Wands. Now, sometimes people say that this card is about waiting for your ships to come in, but he looks to me like he is about to board that ship. Obviously, he's waiting for it to come in so he can get on it, but he's not waiting for something to come off that. It's almost like there is a new direction, there is a new journey up ahead, and it is one that is filled with abundance. The Empress is the card of Taurus for me. I mean, for some people it's Libra, but there's newness here across every single card. We have the Ace of Pentacles, you know, that pure potential. We have the Empress, who is that earth energy, also depicted as pregnant. We have the Three of Wands here, indicating action that will be taken from you, and that you kind of know that you're going to need to take fairly soon. And then the Page of Pentacles, slight change of direction. And I think the change of direction for you is just from static and being in a holding pattern to movement. This year has been so frustrating for Leos, but we've learned a lot in the stasis, as we were meant to. Let me have a look and see why this is being teased at you rather than just fucking handed over, right? Why is Leo in this energy? Here, please. Yeah, this is really interesting, actually, Leo, and it's suddenly gone quite deep. We've got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck there. It's Cancerian energy. It's about a high level of receptivity. It's about, the whole cup suit is about compassion and forgiveness and emotional maturity. And that has what has been happening for you over this period of time that has been utterly frustrating and felt at points like it's really tested our faith. You know, it's really tested our resolve. It's really tested our ability to trust ourselves. You know, we kind of came into this period, I think, not cocky, I wouldn't say that, but certainly with spirits high, like, yes, there is change afoot. There are things that need to be done. I know that there's shadow work that needs to be done here, and I don't turn away from that now. I see the benefit of it. I'm going to throw myself into it in, you know, quite a gung-ho fashion. And then what happened was nothing. And so we sat with it for a little bit, and it's like, okay, right, not yet, but that's okay, because I've learned patience. And then nothing. And then nothing again, and nothing, and nothing, and nothing for months, until Leo started to spiral down into self-doubt. Into a place of, am I really as connected as I think I am? I did all this fucking work. I did all the fucking shadow work. I did all of these things, and I've come at this with the right fucking attitude, and nothing. Literally nothing. And like I've said in previous readings for you, Leo, that's exactly the way that it needed to go down, because if it had presented in the same way as it had done before, you would have learned nothing new. And so if you look over the course of this year, I think that you will find that you have grown immeasurably in a way that you didn't anticipate. Certainly not 6 months ago. There's a stoicism here that I'm feeling for you. But this 2-week period is one where you feel extraordinarily tuned in, Leo. You know, although there is an emphasis on that earth energy for where you are at the moment and what it is that you're focusing on, because it's the Empress, rather than, say, the King of Pentacles or something else that's, you know, earthy and material, it suggests to me that that which you consider to be abundance has certainly changed, right? Now you've got a certain set of things that you need, and that has not gone away. But there's a difference in the way that you're approaching things now. And I think that this is important moving forwards, because just as this sea around the King of Cups is going to be extraordinarily rocky, where you have been for the last 6 months, 8 months really, to be honest, for kind of going into 9 now, has developed an emotional stability within you. Like, it kind of had to break you down a little bit before you could build it back up again. Like I said, these themes of stoicism and maturity and stability are really coming through. The storm is on its way. And as a King of Cups, you're going to be able to stand on that ship, you know, like I said, right before I even pulled any of these meaning cards out, it felt to me very much like you were getting on that ship rather than waiting for something to come to you on there. And there you are, standing on the prow. Is it the prow? What's the other end? Be the blunt end, right? I can't remember what it's called. Right, but that's okay because I don't go on ships because I don't like water. So the point is, you are able to stand there and go with the boat, go with the flow, you know, and maintain your stability throughout. We've got the Two of Wands next, and it's in the reverse, which is very, very interesting because this is a crossroads energy, and I think for the most part that's probably what Leo's been looking for this year. It's that obvious crossroads. Here it is. Now I choose this thing or I choose this thing, and then I can actually go on the way, you know. That hasn't happened. And it's like, how do you navigate when the road is not a road, when it's a sea? In fact, you know, you've got to start using a different kind of skill set to get yourself around, Leo. You can't use the road well travelled by other people because you're going in a different direction now. Entirely different direction. So you can't navigate by roads or road signs or any of those kind of things. There are no obvious forks in the road for you. There is just the great vast expanse of the sea. Now, do you start navigating by the stars? Maybe that might be a good idea. Do you start looking at the other tools that you have at your disposal? So the very last card is the High Priestess. Now, at points over the last 6, 8, 9 months, it's felt very much like we've been pulled away from our knowing, from our wisdom. For Leo, the chaos has been the lack of movement. Like that's chaos to a Leo. It's chaos to any fire sign, actually. It's an absolute lack of movement, and no matter how much energy you put into something in any direction, being held still, like it's torture. But like I said, all of these things that you have learned, right, from chaos, you create the order. You are actually far more tuned in than you think you are. And this isn't a case of sort of sitting down, Leo, and meditating. Like, you're psychic as fuck at this point, right? You don't need the obvious signposts now. Like, you can read the room, you can read the people, you can read perhaps the upheaval that is going on around you on a societal level. You know what this means. And by trusting your intuition and learning to trust your intuition even more than you did before, and it was pretty good before, but now it's like when your intuition speaks, you can't ignore it. Like, you follow that road even if it takes you to a sea and you don't know where you're going. This has been critically important for you, Leo, and what comes next is very important too. September feels a little bit like the calm before the storm. You know, that this is where you are right now, being in a state of gratitude for those things that you have, but still with an eye on the things that you need to keep those people around you safe. But knowing that it's kind of starting here, like this change of direction, change of landscape, you know, change of medium by which one travels. Because it's going to start getting quite rocky soon. And that which you have learned about yourself, that which you have connected to within yourself, will keep you stable when others around you need you to be that for them, you know? I mean, we're talking about emotional stability and security and you know, all of these things, and we have literally the masculine and the feminine energies here presenting for you. Now the King of Cups, I feel, is more important because it's the active aspect of that, and that's very Leo thing. But we do have the passive feminine there too. It might feel a little bit, Leo, like your fight has gone. You're kind of like, where shit is. You know, I've had those conversations with myself a lot over the last few months. It hasn't. You know, just as you are changing now the medium of travel from road to water. So your fight has kind of redirected itself. There is no point in fighting those things that will continue to be, like, regardless of your intervention with them, right? So it is like, Heidi, thank you, my dear friend Heidi, who always reminds me what it is I'm trying to say, and I butcher this serenity prayer. Like, Leo, you're kind of embodying this serenity prayer right now. It's not just something that you think, it's something that you are. And this puts you leagues ahead of a lot of other people. It's given you a skill set that people will need moving forward. Let's get you some cards of advice. 3 cards of advice for you, please. Thank you. Oh, interesting. It's really interesting. So, I tried to do this reading yesterday. Leo was the first coin that came up and said, I want to be done first, right? So I was like, okay. And I pulled some cards, and you know what? I couldn't even remember what fucking month it was. I was like, I can't do this. Like, it's not fair on anyone for me to put out something that is utterly substandard. So I just left it alone. I went and had some more lemsip. The 2 of the 3 cards that came out yesterday are here now. So we've got the 5 of Wands, we've got the 3 of Swords, and we've got the 4 of Cups. And it was the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Cups that came out yesterday. Now, these are cards which, you know, traditionally one would consider to be relatively negative. Although you should always remember that there is no card in the tarot that is purely positive or purely negative. It contains both within it. So how interesting that we should just have been talking about your fight having gone, and here it is, right? 5 of Wands. It's about conflict. And it's about competition. And as I'm looking at these 3 cards, like, what I'm being pulled to is the 4 agreements. That's what I'm feeling. And particularly that don't take anything personally. Like, the energies at the moment, Leo, are really, really intense, and I don't think for a second that you have not been feeling those. The thing is, everybody feels them, but not everybody is as tuned in to understand where they are coming from as you are. So we have conflict, we have visceral pain with the 3 of Swords, and we have the 4 of Cups, rejection. Sometimes rejecting. And as advice, it seems to be saying to you specifically that no matter what goes on around you, no matter the conflict and the ways in which people visit their visceral hurt upon you, maintain that perspective. Know that this is a projection from them. It's saying a lot more about them than it is about you at the moment. Like, this stoicism that you've developed, Leo, this self-possessed, quiet knowing. And there's nothing showy here about your energy at all. Nothing. It's quiet and it's powerful. Oh, God, excuse me. The card at the bottom of the deck. The cards at the bottom of the deck here. We have the Hanged Man there. We have the Hermit. And we have that wonderful 10 of Swords that I love so much in this deck here. right? Looking your pain directly in the eye and seeing the gift for what it is, right? You understand people. You understand why people are reacting in this way here. You're not doing it, but you can get it. You understand why it is. And it's almost like everything that's happened to you at this point has given you such a leg up in being able to process these heavy, thick energies that are coming up. Like yesterday was particularly bad. I don't even know what was going on yesterday, but I actually just cried like 3 or 4 times. Things just kept getting up and I was just like, and I heard the sound of silence, like the disturbed version, and only like 10 seconds of it, and I was like, whew, emotional. And I was, looking at a few things on Twitter, and I was just like, oh my God, something heavy is rising, and it's difficult. But the point is, the work that you have done on yourself, the way in which your internal space is not a secret to you. It's something that you understand. It is a path well trodden for you now, because of this here has given you such an ability to be tuned in. It's funny, for the last year, it's probably over a year now, about 1.5 years, every Pisces reading that I've done, Leo shows up in there somewhere, and it's extraordinary, right? Every single reading without fail. And some subscribers saying, I've got Leo in my chart, or my significant other is a Leo, or someone that I really cared about who passed over is a Leo. There's always that Leo vibe thing there. We've got double Pisces here. And there's something about the Piscean energy of acceptance, but being so fucking dialed in to what is going on, that you are embodying now, Leo. Now, I don't know what the connection is between Leo and Pisces. There isn't an obvious one. There's no axis between you on the zodiac or anything like that. But it's like, don't respond. That's your advice. Take this stoicism, take this calm demeanour that you have. Take this ability to just stand on the end of the ship and just see where it goes. And apply it to everything over the next 2 weeks. Where people are lashing out, where people are looking for conflict, where people are looking for something to distract them from the energies that they are feeling, and it comes out in some other way, I almost know those people who are always spoiling for a fight. They pick a fight with you because they feel like it's one that they might win, rather than a fight with their boss who they're actually upset with, or, their parents or something like that, their child. The message is to rise above, Leo. Okay, I'm going to leave it there before I start coughing at you again. I'll be much more perked up the next time you see me, I promise. Right. Know that I love you very, very much, and I'll see you soon.